Hello everybody. Get ready with me while I tell you how we found out we were having a set of twins after we had a set of twins. Okay, so this is probably like the most asked question anytime I'm out and about or anything and people find out we have 2 sets of twins. They're like, what? How did that happen? What did you do? Did you freak out? And I get it. It's very intriguing conversation, but I will tell you. Okay, so we unfortunately, this is trigger warning for miscarriage, had some miscarriages, and it was really sad, and I kind of just was becoming like not numb to it, but like if it's gonna happen, I want to get it over with. That might be, again, triggering to somebody, but that's the truth. So I found out I was pregnant. My first set of twins were still nursing. They were 1. They had just turned 1. Yes, they had just turned 1. And so I was scheduled an appointment to go to my doctor. I had already had miscarriages, like I had said before. And I told my husband to actually stay in the car because I just felt bad. And I'm like, I don't need him to go in there and have to, also hear this and, drag him through this already like sad bummer time. So I told him to stay in the car with our other kids that were sleeping. So we also actually had our friend's daughter with us, who is the same age as me and Kai, our first set of twins, just because we were helping her out. So he stayed in the car with all these babies sleeping. I went in. I told him, I'll call you or, FaceTime you or whatever. And I go in, I see all the girls at the front, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're back. Like, hello, I had just been there. You're back. And I'm like, yeah. And I warned all of them, I'm just letting you guys know, like, I already think I'm having a miscarriage. It's okay. Like, I'm prepared and all this stuff. And they're like, okay, like, I'm like, just warning you, like, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. And so I get called back into the appointment, and my doctor was like, can, somebody, a nurse practitioner, I don't know, somebody I'd never met actually, can they do the quick ultrasound just to like confirm everything? And I was like, yeah, it's fine, because she's just going to tell me I'm having a miscarriage. Like, my doctor, it's fine, even though I absolutely love my OB. So I go back by myself, okay? And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to video just in case, but I already like know what's probably happening. And so they do the ultrasound, an internal ultrasound. And if you are a mom, you know what that means. And so I turn on my phone video just in case to send my husband a video if I need to. And she said, okay, and here is one baby, or here's this baby. And I was like, wait, so the baby's fine. Like, I thought I was having a miscarriage. And she's like, she moved the little wand around and she's like, and here's another baby. What? We have this actually on video. It's on this channel. I don't know. I'll see if I can like link it or something in the description, but I distinctly remember being like, wait, like, are you sure? Can you check again? Like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the lady was like kind of cold about it. And I was just like, I didn't want to talk to her because I was absolutely in shock. And my doctor is amazing. And I just like wanted to talk to her. So I am like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And she's like, nope, there's 2. I was like, I already have a set of twins though, and they just turned 1 and I'm still nursing, and like, what am I going to do? I start crying because, you guys, I know if you've had twins, it's a lot of work, okay? And not only did we have twins, but we also had a toddler on top of it. And so she went and got my doctor, and my doctor comes in, and I'm crying hysterically. And she's kind of giggling because I think the person who did the ultrasound before actually had mentioned it to her, maybe when she left the room or something, when I was probably getting dressed. And she was like, I was hysterical, crying, and she was just like laughing and smiling. She's like, you know what? If anyone can do this, it is you. You just went through this. You know exactly what's coming, and it's going to be fine. And I just kept saying, this doesn't happen, right? Like, this can't be happening, right? This doesn't happen. This isn't something that happens. At this point, I had never known. I think maybe one person at Disneyland, like at the parade, had mentioned to us that they had 2 sets of twins and their kids were like older. It was one time when they saw Mia and Kai in the stroller and they like brought up the twin thing. And so I was like, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen, right? And she's like, honestly, it's very, very rare, especially because it was completely spontaneous. That's probably another story because I always get asked that. If it was spontaneous, if we had IVF, all stuff, we didn't. Okay. They're spontaneous fraternal twins, 2 sets within 2 years. Okay. Wild. And so, anyways, I go out and all the girls in the office who I love have like, some of them I'm still friends with. I saw me crying and they just assumed, something really bad. Well, it was really bad, but they thought I was just having the miscarriage I had, prepared them for. And I'm crying and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, no, it's twins. And they were confused because I had just been in there for twins not very long before. And I'm crying while I'm saying this. And I'm like, no, it's twins. There's two. And they're like, wait, so you didn't have miscarriage? And I'm like, no, there's 2. And then they just start smiling and laughing and like everyone just thought it was amazing. And I'm like, no, how am I going to do this? This is like, having 1 set of twins alone is so much work. I mean, like, if you know, you know. Even 1 baby's a lot of work, but like a set of twins that are 1 year old, a toddler who's like 3 or 4 at the time, and then now I'm pregnant with twins again. Anyways, terrified. I left the office, made all my appointments, crying my eyes out. And it's not that I wasn't happy. It was just like, I was terrified. And the other thing, which maybe seemed kind of vain, but I had just like felt like I was getting to feel like myself again. And I mean, I was still nursing, but I was just feeling like I was getting back into like life. Like, I'm emerging from the first year of life with twins. Okay. And I also had successfully had I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TikTok or on YouTube. So I had a non-C-section. Okay. And everything was good. If you missed that birth story, maybe I'll do a birth story on that. It was the most traumatic day of my entire life. Not because of anything anybody could have predicted. I can get into that. If you guys want me to tell you that story, let me know. I'll go into detail. I've briefly mentioned it to people because I have to mention things about Kai, like having a lung thing. So anyways, I was worried that I'm not going to be that lucky again to be able to have another birth where I don't need a C-section. And I was terrified to be cut, like to have a C-section. I don't know why. I think I've just heard so many horror stories from so many people. I was scared. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I genuinely was afraid that, something would happen. I've also just always had this thought in the back of my mind that I would have a short life, which that sounds so dramatic and so morbid. And my mom hates when I say it, but I don't know why. Like, I've never pictured myself as like an older person, if that makes sense. So I thought, I am going to not survive this. And I think also I had a traumatic experience with my other 2 births that I'm like, I can't believe I survived that. And, ignorance is bliss. So at the time I was like, la-di-da, I was so young, 21 and 23. 21 and 24, sorry. When I had already given birth, I was too young. Now that I think about it, we had no business, having all these kids so young. Anyways, it's fine. Okay. It's fine now. And it's actually amazing. And I'm so thankful. But So, sorry. I was worried about that, okay? So I go downstairs, elevator, crying, holding pictures. I'm sending my husband the video that I took. I don't even think I wish we could go back into his phone because I don't even think I gave an explanation. I literally think I just hit send and I was in shock because I was crying, okay? And so I go downstairs and you have to like go around the building and then go out to the parking lot. Well, obviously all my kids and my friend's daughter were sleeping in my car, so he was at the car. And I turned the corner and he's like standing outside of the car, like right next to the car, don't worry, outside the car. And he just like has this big old smile on his face. And I was like, I mean, I'm bawling. And he's like, it's going to be fine. Like, it's going to be amazing. This is like, of course this would happen to us. This is my life. Like everything in my life is just so like, if it something weird or like odd could happen in a situation, it will happen to me. This is like, it just is. Hence me and Kai's birth story. It's like if something crazy could happen, it would happen to me, and it did happen. So as soon as he was smiling, I never cried about it or anything ever again after that because he was like so excited. And I'm like, well, these are his children too. And like, what like a crazy gift this is. Like this doesn't happen to people. Like this is just going to be an insane time of our lives. And I accepted it and all was good. But it was funny because telling our families, I think everyone thought we were kidding. I do remember calling my mom over the phone. I like couldn't wait. Oh, you know what? No, that was with me and Kai. So with the second set of twins, we didn't tell anybody till 12 weeks because I thought there's no way we got this lucky. Lucky is a small word for it. I don't know what other word to use right now, but there's no way we are this lucky to have two sets of twins. Like that's just wild, spontaneous. Like that's crazy. Like, and I'm an anxious person, so I was constantly waiting for something bad to happen. I know that just sounds so terrible, but I like was like, there's no way this could be this good. Does that make sense? Does anyone else feel like that? I think that is part of like me having anxiety. I was just like constantly waiting for like the whole world to cave in on me. And so like we went to Disneyland and stuff. I obviously just didn't go on like crazy rides, but it was easy to kind of talk my way around those in front of my mom because me and Kai were still babies. So I would just say, oh, I'm going to stay off with the babies. So after it was 12 weeks, I called my mom and I was like, so what are you doing? She's like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, did you want 2 more grandsons or 2 more granddaughters? And she's like, what? Because my sister has 1 child, but she had, she's like a one and done. She had a very crazy pregnancy and delivery, and she's like, that's it. So she just has 1 child, and he's older than my oldest. So she knew it wasn't my sister. My brothers are much younger than me. Were in, at the time, they had just graduated high school, I believe. Oh, I think so. I don't know. They were young. Anyway, so she's like, what? Like so confused. And I'm like, yeah, I'm having twins again. She was like, what? Like, it was just like, nobody really believed it. I still to this day, and they're 11 and 13 and Miley's 17. I still to this day am like, is this real? Like, did this really happen to me? And Weston, of course, like, is this real life? So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then we made an announcement video and I actually posted on YouTube and just shared it. So it's on this channel somewhere. I'll see if I can link it. But if you guys have any questions, leave them below and maybe I'll do like a follow-up Q&A. And if you want me to do another video about my crazy very traumatic experience with me and Kai's birth, with an accidental medical mistake, not on our end, which we have on video. I will never share that though, and I cannot I've never rewatched it myself because I'm, to this day, they're 13, I am so traumatized I could cry just thinking about it. So, yeah, it changed me. It changed me. So, anyways, I hope you guys liked this, and if you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of like details in there, but I just wanted to give you guys like the gist of what happened. And it's amazing. And now I'm like, I can't even imagine like not having them. It was so hard in the beginning, but I always tell people that I think that the twins were easier than just Miley, because Miley like needed my every second of attention because it was just me and her while Weston was at work. So I was like her play buddy. It was all me. It was all me. And so when I had Mia and Kai and then the other baby, the Kane and Kel, they all have each other. They have a built-in friend. They always have somebody to play with. And still to this day, like they're all playing right now. So I think that they were in the long run easier in that sense. Don't get me wrong. Having two babies wake up in the middle of the night at the exact same time, both wanting to be fed every 2 hours was not easy, okay? So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and like this video, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.